Okay, yesterday we have seen totally reflecting glass prisms. Par Sharma, tell me, for undergoing 180-degree rotation of the image, how many TIRs are required?
Sir, 2 TIRs.
Okay, very good. Anshuman Singh, what are totally reflecting glass prisms?
So prism that reflects the light, totally reflect the light.
What is the shape of that? Is a right equilateral prism or something? Some specialities there?
It's a right angle equilateral triangle.
What is that? Nachiketa Bhatnagar, what type of prism?
Angled isosceles glass
Okay,
prism.
it's a right-angled isosceles glass prism. One angle 90 degree, other two angles are 45 degree. You must have seen the shape of that. Okay, today we are going to the next most important application, that is optical fibers. Very important one, optical fiber. Nowadays we are using for communication also, all kind of that means mobile network, that means internet. So the access are we are using optical fiber. So what is the meaning of an optical fiber? So it is a high quality fiber made of glass or quartz, single strand, high quality, maybe glass or fiber, and it's about refract index 1.5. Suppose this is your one strand. This is your fiber, and the diameter of this strand is of the order of 10 to the minus 6 meter. That is 1 micron diameter, and our refractive index n equal to 1.5. So optical fiber means consists of many thousands. When you say bundle, thousands of strands of very long, fine quality fibers of glass or quartz. The diameter of each fiber is about 1 micrometer, 10 to the power minus 6 meter, or 10 to the power minus 4 centimeter also you can say, and with the refractive index 1.5. We have to paint this. So painting means we are doing a coating with low glass or having refractive index about 1.48. So this is coated with other glass material coating. You have to coat this. Coating is done. Coating is done here. So here also coating is done. Coating part is done with a glass material of low refractive index, and this refractive index of this coating, it is of refractive index 1.48, and this coating process, this coating process is called cladding. Coating process is known as cladding. C-L-A-D-D-I-N-G, coating process. So your one strand of optical fiber is ready. So one strand means it consists of a high quality quartz or glass fiber of radius or diameter is about 1 micrometer, and of the refractive index is about 1.5. It is coated, all the sides are coated, painted with glass material of low refractive index, that is about 1.48, and this coating process is known as cladding of optical fiber. Okay, so this your one fiber is ready now. Like this, for your use, we use a bundle. So many bundles of strands we use. So how it works? So there is an inner part that we call it as core, and outer part we call it as coating, that is called cladding. Inner part glass fiber of refractive index 1.5, outer part that is coating is with refractive index 1.48. So drawing the diagram in little more bigger way. So this is your optical fiber. Inside is we call it as a core, CORE or refractive index and equal to 1.1. That's material. Coating is there. I will shading this portion. Coating. Coating is known as cladding and its refractive index is this is the coating and we call this as a cladding process. And its refractive index is known as 1.20. Now light from one side enters inside the fiber at a smaller angle. So light is entering. Now this will be a denser medium and this is a rarer medium. This cladding is happening. So when light tries to go from denser to rarer medium at this angle I, this angle I will be greater than the critical angle. What will be the critical angle here? How to calculate critical angle? Critical angle can be calculated by n equal to 1 upon c. Here n stands for refractive index or denser because rarer 1 upon sin c. Here denser medium is a core of refractive index 1.5 and then rarer medium of coating adding refractive index 1.4 equal to 1 by sin. So sin c equal to 1.48 divided by 1.5. So we can find out this value of critical angle. So value is not important. So this angle of incidence is greater than critical angle, and therefore it undergoes AR. This always this angle of incidence will be made greater than critical angle, and this critical angle is this form. So it undergoes multiple AR, and finally, so undergoing multiple AR at different points. They are all undergoing PAR and finally it comes from the side outside. So we can call this as a light drive because light is transmitting from one point to another point. So light is entering from one side. When it reaches here, this angle of incidence is greater than critical angle and undergoing continuous PAR. Finally, it comes out. You can keep the fiber in any manner. You can bend it. Okay, you can twist it in any manner. The total light will be coming to that side. So the image formed is extremely clear in this case. So this is the working of optical fiber. Light enters from one side. When it tries to go from denser to rarer, angle of incidence greater than critical angle, so it undergoes multiple TAR inside the optical fiber and finally comes out. So we can use this. It is a small pipe, very small diameter, 10 to minus 1 micron diameter. So mainly optical fibers we are using in medicine as well as in industry also we are using this. In medicine, especially this is used for endoscopy. Endoscopy. Endoscopy means that is to detect ulcer. Okay, detect ulcer. So we can use optical fiber to see inaccessible parts of human body or any other device. Inaccessible part means we cannot directly see. So to see the internal part inside the stomach, etc. So what you will do this endoscopy, you have to swallow a pipe that is optical fiber, you have to swallow inside and goes inside and up to the stomach it goes inside. And doctor will send the light from here. The light will be going to the place and it goes outside inside the stomach. And from the different part the light reflected again coming back, and that can be seen on screen if there is any ulcer, etc. This is called endoscopy. It's used in medicine. Okay. So this is very important because asking board examination. Okay. And also nowadays we are using optical fibers are used in transmission and reception of electrical signal by converting them into light signal. First, it is called optical communication. Okay, by converting into optical signal, so it's called optical communication. And if you are using, that means just like we are giving high-speed internet access, that is optical fiber. So optical fiber can be used in telephone and other transmission cables. Each fiber can carry up to 2000 telephone messages without much loss of intensity. So you can remember two different important applications. First one is we are using this in medical and optical examination of the inaccessible parts of an equipment or a human body. If it is in medicine, endoscopy. Application number 2, transmission and reception of signals, electrical signal by converting into optical signal. That is called optical communication. There is a chapter in communication. We'll see that. I think this chapter is deleted already. It is the optical communication. Okay. And other important one, nowadays we are using this optical fibers can be used in telephone and other transmission cables. Transmission cable, you can get 500 television channels without any loss of intensity. So each fiber can carry up to around 2000 telephone messages without much loss of intensity. In BSNL line, broadband line, you must be knowing that it's a 2-wire cable is coming there. It is not giving any clarity, no speed at all. This is all replaced by optical fiber. So these are the different applications of TIR, and one more last application is left. That is, that application is that is Mirage. Next application is Mirage. All of you draw this diagram, optical fiber diagram in your copy. Optical fiber diagram. I'm taking your attendance. Okay. So next is Mirage. It's an optical illusion. Again, by due to PIR. You can see your virtual image in a plane mirror. We call it as a mirror image. Laterally inverted image. But if an object is near the water surface, you can see its inverted image. That is a virtual image. If water surface is available, suppose there is water surface here. Okay, you have an object here, a tree on water surface. You can see inverted image of tree in water. So here, this is object, and here you can see inverted image. So inverted image of the tree can be seen from the water surface. It's a common experience. When you are traveling, if there is a water surface, you can see all the trees are inverted. You can see from the water surface. Virtual image can be seen. Even without water there. So this kind of image we see, that means in inverted image of tree, if you are seeing, so what the conclusion we are seeing that we are, okay, there is a water there from the water surface, we are getting a reflection and we are seeing this image. Now, next point is for us, even without water, we can see this kind of effect. It's an optical effect. And this is usually happening in the hot summer days. Hot summer days in desert. In desert region, hot summer days, the sand is there just near the surface of the earth. The sand is very hot sand. The density is there just near that, air density is very less, act is like a rare medium. Slightly up 1 meter, 2 meter, comparatively the temperature is less, so that region will appear as dense. So even without water there, we see this kind of effect. Invert image of a tree can be seen in hot summer days, especially in desert. So that is an optical illusion. That optical illusion we call it as mirage. It's an optical illusion. So what is the meaning of optical illusion means? That means the object such as a tree, etc., appears to be inverted. Appears to be inverted as if the tree is on the near the surface of water. So this kind of illusion, it is not actually happening. It's kind of illusion, so-called optical illusion that we call it as mirage, and it is due to TIR. So how will you explain this? That means hot summer days, that means especially sand region, lower part of the surface of the earth, that is very hot and it acts just like a rare medium. And slightly above region, comparatively, temperature is less in comparison with the lower part, and so upper region, slightly upper, okay, 1 meter, 2 meters, slightly upper region act is like a denser medium because comparatively the temperature is less. So we'll see how the image formation is taking place in this case. Hot summer days, especially in the. So this kind of impact remains observation optical illusion, we will get there. So this is the surface and lower part and objects such as a tree. An object is here. Who is an object such as a tree is there. So lower part I am marking different layers here. The lower part is a rare medium and upper part is a dense medium. Because here it is the sand and high temperature near the density is less and act is like a rare medium. So when a ray of light is coming from the object till more height and is coming from denser to rarer, denser to rarer. So it is a denser to rarer refraction. So denser to rarer refraction taking place like when a light is coming from here, bends from the north. Right, density. So it is coming to slowly, it is coming to this point, and next step will be coming here, and it is coming here. Slight bending. And when it reaches here, at an angle of incidence that can be greater than the critical angle because of the refraction. The light ray undergoes PIR at this point. Okay, and this point I'm marking as OA at the point A. And the light ray appears to come from here. So something is coming from here. The light ray appears to this is an observer here. Okay, and for a person here, this ray appears to come from here. So here you will get the inverted image of the tree. Inverted image of the place is here in this image. So for a person coming from here, the light ray, the rays are coming to us, coming to the observer here and appears to come from a point I. So the inverted image of the object is observed. This creates an illusion that usually this observed when there is a water surface. So he feels that there may be water surface, and that is why we are getting this kind of inverted image. But it is an optical illusion, there is no water surface. That is why I say that so objects such as a tree appears to be inverted as if the tree is near the surface of water. This optical illusion is called total internal. This is called mirage, and this is due to total internal reflection. So these are the different points regarding the applications of total internal reflection. Next, we are going for refraction at spherical refracting surfaces. Again, very important topic. So we are seeing refraction through glass surface. Glass surface, two surfaces are parallel. Two refractions are taking place in the glass slab. You remember rare to dense and dense to rare. Emergent rays parallel to the direction of incident ray, so there is no deviation. There is lateral displacement for the image. So both surfaces are parallel there, the light is undergoing. But not necessarily that always the surfaces are parallel. Sometimes the surface can be a spherical surface. Okay, spherical surface bulged outwards or inwards, etc. So next is refraction at spherical refracting surface. Refraction at spherical refracting surfaces. Refraction at spherical refracting surfaces. Spherical refracting surfaces short form we write it as SRS. Spherical refracting surface we write it as SRS. So SRS means it's a part of a sphere of transparent refracting material. You can take a huge type of transparent material, just like a marble, huge. Just like a transparent material, you take a huge piece of glass. Okay, and we can cut it. So this is a huge transparent material. We can cut this for our purpose. Suppose you are cutting like this. Here I am cutting in this way, and this much portion is removed. You are getting a spherical surface here. You can see what kind of spherical surface it is. And we can cut it neatly. Moving. So this is a spherical refracting surface. It is a convex toward the air medium. Air medium. If this is completely your transparent medium, for example, glass is a dense medium, is a rare. So if the convex is facing toward the air medium, we call it as convex SRS. Convex SRS. We can cut in some other way also. We cut like this. So this is a full transparent material. We can cut suitably for different purposes. And see, this side is again spherical surface. The spherical refracting surface is not a plane, but it is curved. It's a concave towards the air medium. So hence this is called concave SRS. It's called concave SRS. We are discussing the spherical refracting surfaces. You have a transparent medium, cut the sides suitably. Here it is designed in such a way that convex side is toward the air medium, it's convex surface. Concave side is towards air medium, so that we call it as concave. So there are two types of refracting surfaces: convex SRS and concave SRS. This is a full glass material. Any transparent medium can use. Transparent material of higher refractive. Tensor I mark here. This we are placing in air medium or air medium. These are the two types. Now, just like the mirror, the center point of mirror we used to call pole. Here also the center of this spherical refracting surface is called pole. So this point P, we call it as pole of SRS. Now you can see this is convex SRS and it is curved like this. So the center of it's the part of the sphere, it's a part of sphere. The center of this convex SRS lies here on the right side. That we call it as center of curvature of SRS, spherical refracting surface. Center of curvature of spherical refracting surface. Similarly, this is a concave photosphere and its center will lie at a point here on left side. Be the point C, center of curvature of SRS. The straight line passing through them, the straight line passing through this is called principal axis. Straight line passing through pole and center of curvature of SRS is known as principal axis. Okay, so you have two types of spherical refracting surfaces. One is convex SRS, another is concave SRS. P is the center of SRS called pole, and C is the center of curvature. Straight line passing through P and C is called principal axis. One more point. So mainly when we deal with the refraction in the case of SRS, usually we will not take an extended object. We are taken in the case of mirror, AB is an object of 2 centimeter in length. We are not taking. Here we take point objects. So next important point is that the object will be considered as always point object and that will be placed on the principal axis. So the point object is point object dot represented. We will represent it by dot and it is placed on principal axis. It will not be represented by AB. 2 centimeters, it's a double dot. That is the first point. Second point, angle of incidence and angle of refraction are very, very small. So sin I can be taken as I, sin R can be taken as R. And the aperture, diameter, the size of SRS are considered to be very small, the aperture is small. And we are to use sign convention exactly same as mirror. All the measurements are to be taken from the pole. Object should be on left side. Those distance measured toward the left side are positive, and those are measured toward right side. Those distance measured toward the left side negative. Those are measured toward right side positive. Okay, upward measurement positive, downward measurement. So these are the sign convention that is to be in dealing with word refraction at SRS. Okay. So next we are again repeating, the object consists of point object lying on principal axis. Aperture is small, size is small. So incident ray, refracted ray, etc. makes small angle, sin I equal to I less sin R equal to R less x. And sign convention similar to that of mirror, all measurements are to be taken from pole itself. Okay, all measurements are taken from the pole. Toward left side measurement, negative, right side measurement, positive, upward measurement, positive, downward measurement. Other points will continue tomorrow. Thank you.